Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Assemble. My name's High Ruler and welcome to Kate Bishop Eve, as I've been calling it. Today we have a blog post titled Everything You Need to Know About Marvel's Avengers Operation Kate Bishop Taking Aim. Our first post-launch superhero, Kate Bishop, is on her way with her bow, arrows, and a stylish sword in her arsenal. Our Marvel's Avengers War Table deep dive covered Kate's kit and gave an overview of her role in the continued narrative. If you missed it, you can watch it below. Today, we're talking about the specifics of getting into the new operation, how the introduction of Kate affects the Avengers initiative, and expanding on combat with tips and tricks to master her unique style. When you first boot up the game, after the Kate patch is installed, you'll be greeted with a bright purple window on the left of the starting screen that will start Kate's operation. If you missed this, don't fret. You can always start the operation in the Avengers initiative as well. You don't need to have completed the Reassemble campaign to begin Operation Taking Aim, but we highly suggest you do, as Kate's story takes place after Kamala's and assumes you know what happened. The setup. Taking Aim is a new story with a new superhero that takes place in the existing world of Marvel's Avengers. Kate Bishop, who first appeared in Young Avengers #1, is a master archer and skilled gymnast. Missing since A-Day, she resurfaces after investigation in Nick Fury's disappearance results in her mentor, Clint Barton, or Hawkeye, goes missing as well. As she unravels the mystery behind the sudden appearance of time-warping tachyon rifts, she uncovers a twisted new plan from AIM, which pushes her to work with the Avengers once again. The first mission takes place in the SHIELD Substation Zero by talking to Maria Hill. You won't start off playing as Kate since there's some narrative to unravel first, but rest assured you'll shortly recruit her into the operation. Every mission in Operation Taking Aim can be played multiplayer with any character in your roster. If you choose to play through a mission as one of the core 6 heroes, Kate will join you as an AI companion. As we talked about before, Operation Taking Aim is just the first part of the Hawkeye double feature that will conclude with Clint Barton's Operation Hawkeye, Future Imperfect, early next year. We're super grateful for the excitement surrounding Future Imperfect sneak peek, have been watching our reaction videos, and can't wait to share more details with you. But back to Kate. Kate is a trained and dedicated warrior, always aware of her body and the environment around her. She's constantly scoping a room or a location for possible routes of entrance or exit. Kate is most comfortable in using her bow and over time has become a natural extension of her body. She prefers ranged combat and is deft at quickly moving to a firing distance when need be. However, if engaged in close combat, she has been trained in multiple forms of martial arts. Her goal in close combat is always to incapacitate as quickly as possible and then move back to the ranged combat area. Here's a look at some of Kate's unique combat skills. Kate's kit: Tranquilizer Arrow. Quickly switch to the bow and fire an arrow that applies the snare debuff. While affected by the debuff, enemies have reduced impact resistance, making them easier to interrupt. Demolition Blast Arrow. Enabled after any signature or power attack, fire an arrow that attaches to surfaces with a time-delayed proximity explosive that launches targets into the air when detonated. Warp Arrow. Fire an arrow that teleports the wielder on impact. Teleporting to the arrow creates a quantum explosion that deals damage to all nearby enemies, launching them into the air. The teleport effect can also be triggered while the arrow is in flight. Blade Dancer's Strike, a melee combo move that breaks your enemy defenses, slamming them into the ground and leaving them vulnerable to additional attacks. Blink. Teleport towards nearby ledges or poles. Teleporting to a pole will trigger a swing, while teleporting to ledges will trigger a quick vault over or onto nearby ledges. Smokescreen Arrow. Perform an evasive bow attack, firing an arrow that creates a cloud of smoke and inflicts additional stun damage to enemies inside the smoke. Decoy. Throw a miniature hologram projector that displays a hologram of the wielder, distracting enemies from attacking actual heroes. Through an infusion of quantum energy, the projector can create an actual quantum arrow that shoots at nearby targets, providing additional offensive support. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I didn't see any of the developer streams because I've been trying to go as like as dark as possible into like this expansion or into this DLC. Like I don't want to know as like realistically the less I know the better, so I can figure it all out. But with that being said, everything that I've kind of seen so far out of the deep dive and just kind of reading through this, it sounds like Kate's gonna be a real fun hero to play as. Like potentially new main. I mean, I think everyone's gonna say that, right? Everyone's gonna be like, Kate's gonna be my new main after they kind of play with her. But you know what? Honestly, she sounds good. She sounds good. I'm super excited, thus far of kind of what I've read, kind of what I've seen, and I'm very excited to get my hands on her and figure her out. That's for sure. All right, so let's get into the challenge card. In addition to all these exciting new skills, Kate also comes with a fresh Hero Challenge card. Hero Challenge cards allow players to earn resources, units, credits, and cosmetics for completing in-game challenges. Each Hero Challenge card is a free and unlockable premium track with 40 tiers of rewards. Rewards are earned via challenge points by completing daily and weekly challenges. Kate's premium hero card track can be unlocked at a cost of 1,000 credits, which many of you have already earned through completing the free cards of the 6 starting heroes. Alright, so let's jump into some tips and tricks. Before we wrap up, check out some tips and tricks from our dev team to ensure you've got the edge as Kate. Intrinsic energy management. Kate's short range teleportation uses up intrinsic energy, which means she can only use it a finite amount of times. Make sure you don't use it all up before diving into a horde of enemies or you have trouble parrying or teleporting away. Close combat. If enemies get up close to Kate, don't feel pressure to switch to her sword. Using scatter shot arrows up close deals a significant amount of damage. Scatter shot arrows are also excellent for applying status effects to large group of enemies. Breaking shields. Bomb arrows work well against enemies with shields. Give it a try. Airborne. Launch enemies into the air with the heavy combo or demolition charge arrows. Then juggle them with the razor arrows or quantum blitz and strike skills. Extra damage. Parrying with quantum shift and following up with quantum arc is a good way to set up enemies for additional combat damage. Critical damage. The disruptor arrow and perfect draw are 2 key skills in maximizing critical damage. Taking/making space. Blink dash is an excellent way to close the distance to a target for melee attacks or to create some space to take aim and attack with arrows. Quick ground coverage. In addition to being an amazing combat tool, Warp Arrow has great utility. You can use it to reposition, cover ground fast, or get yourself out of harm's way. I mean, those are pretty good tips and tricks, man. Lots of useful information here that, obviously what we're figuring the character out tomorrow, we can kind of keep this in the back of our minds just as kind of, I think at this point, any information is good information. You know what I'm saying, guys? So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I'll probably take away from this and, keep in my brain as I'm kind of, I think the big one for me is like close combat. If I get up close to enemies, I'm going to feel like, I'm going to be like, all right, sword time, man. Let's slice some guys up. But I mean, maybe we'll try some scatter shot arrows and see what else we can get going on tomorrow. I know a few of you guys that are real monsters out there that are going to just totally like break this character in a lot of ways, it feels like. So with that being said, I mean, let's kind of just read this last part here. We can't wait for you to get your hands on Marvel's Avengers Kate Bishop taking aim. Be sure to tag us in your Kate screenshots, Kate combos, and any other Kate content, really. The same thing goes for me, man. If you guys are real monsters out there, whether you're a photography monster or a build monster or a damage monster, like I know you guys are out there. So, and even if you're not, I would love to hear your impressions of Kate. I mean, tomorrow's a big day for the community. Whether you're a player or a content creator or just someone who's kind of coming back into the game after taking a break, or maybe this is your first time with the game. There's a lot going on tomorrow. So you know what? At the end of the day, I hope everyone has fun. I hope everyone enjoys Kate. I hope everyone enjoys the story. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, guys, with a lot more videos covering the Reddit AMA, breaking down the challenge card, going over the patch notes. There's lots of stuff we'll be going over tomorrow, guys. So with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. And stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the Assemble Podcast channel. Peace.